Hey, 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 yeah, hey, what a time to be alive. I left them for dead, now I'm living right. No new friends, no new advice. That was high then, but we got bigger heights. We got bigger fish to fry. Bet on myself, then I roll the dice. Man, it ain't a gamble if you know you nice.
All right, welcome back to Donald Dream Podcast. I'm your host, R.A. Man. We got a very special guest in the building. I actually don't know how to say your last name. Reed, I know it's Reed.
Yeah.
How to say your last name? I don't want to say it incorrect. Abedini.
Yeah.
That's welcome, man. Appreciate you having me. We also got Zachary Stoffer. Yes, sir, man.
This is sweet. I've never been up here. This is dope. This is like I've heard of the Tower Club, but I didn't know it was like a members only, like private rooftop. This is dope.
Cool, man. I'm glad that we were able to add some value, man. It's really cool, man. Appreciate you coming out, man. I'm gonna let you start off. You had a good question in the chamber. We're just gonna let it rip.
Yeah. So I was asking, what was your thought process when you first started your initial LLC? Like, being in startup, I've done a few startups, but it's like I have no clue where I'm going, what I'm doing. Do you have a mentor in that, or what was your process for that?
Dude, my first LLC, that's actually a great question because everyone's like, what's your first business? But like my first LLC was an ATM business. I started an ATM business. I had no idea how it worked. I found this guy online and he was like doing a lot of revenue through just having ATMs near like clubs, bars, restaurants. And I was like, fuck, I could do this, right? This seems like pretty simple and easy. So I started an ATM business. I set up a couple ATMs when I was like 18 years old around like my restaurant that I was working at. So I was working at this like Persian restaurant in Maryland because that's where I grew up. And I was a cashier at that restaurant, and right next to it was like a bar. So I was like, I can set up an ATM business here at this restaurant that I'm working at, change it, reload the cash, reload the, inventory, whatever. And it actually went pretty well until like the bar got their own ATM and then kind of like just, wiped me out of business. And it was just like my first like sense of like defeat, right? And having competition just wipe you out.
Yeah.
So that was my first LLC. It was a stupid business I started. And then I took that LLC and then I started doing stocks with it. So the LLC was called like More Money Matters LLC. Mm-hmm. And then I opened that LLC for that business, didn't do well. Transferred like pretty much all of it to like day trading and stocks because I started working at an investment bank. And then after that, I started to make more like good money through stocks and day trading in 2020, like where the recession kind of hit and the market kind of crashed. And then my brother and I were just ripping it together, dude. We did a lot of, we made a lot of money through the stock market. And then eventually I pretty much lost it all, got out of day trading, got into real estate, switched my LLC, changed the name from More Money Matters to MMM Investment Group. And then now I'm using that same corporation doing real estate with it. So
nice, love it. So and when I was kind of phrasing off that, so most people want to do startups. Like you're very entrepreneurial based, right? You're like, I'm gonna risk it all and go after it. From the first person starting like into business and wanting to get into business, I know you're like, I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna run it. But how did you know how to run that? I guess people have ChatGPT now, but
yeah, ChatGPT helps. Dude, I didn't. The answer to that question is I didn't know shit. But like the one thing I did know was that I had the discipline to figure it out. And a lot of people don't, right? A lot of people need to have all the answers to the exam before they go into the exam and take the test on test day. Mm-hmm. Me, I'm like, I'll be resourceful. I'll cheat if I have to. I'll look on other people's papers. I'll partner up. I'll do whatever I need to do to like pass this exam, right? And that was my mindset in school. So, and I feel like at a young age, you're conditioned to always keep your eyes on your own paper, never collaborate, never partner up with people, because these are not things that you're supposed to do. But in the real world, like it's all about partnerships. It's all about collaborating. So my mindset was, I have the courage to just start. Right? I'll figure it out as I go. And if I can't fucking find out, I'll go on YouTube, I'll hire a mentor, I'll invest into a coach, I'll like start networking and meeting people like you guys who know, their shit about business, and I'll find someone that I want to follow who's doing what I want to do in the future, and I'll do whatever it takes to learn from that person.
Cool. Love it.
That's dope, bro. Okay, I want to start with your background, your story. I'm big on storytelling. Tell us about where you were born. What was it like growing up? Like your culture, your ethnicity, things like that. Take us back to the beginning.
Yeah, so I'm Persian. I'm from Iran originally. I was born here, but my parents we're first generation. My parents immigrated to this country almost 37 years ago. So my brothers are like pretty much 37, 10 years older than I am. I'm 25. They're like 36, 37. So they immigrated here a long time ago from Iran. My parents met in Iran, and I learned how to speak Farsi from a young age. It was actually my first language that I learned how to speak because my parents would refuse to speak English in the house.
Yeah.
At first, it was annoying because I got put into these English ESL classes in school, and I felt like an idiot. But
I've been in there, yeah.
But now I'm so grateful because I know how to speak my language fluently, and I learned how to speak English, and yeah, bro.
So
Farsi's hard.
Farsi's.
Farsi's hard.
have you tried learning it?
Well, select few, in the Marine Corps, select few get that opportunity. They have to be genius.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah, multilingual for Farsi.
What? So you grew up in Maryland?
I grew up in Maryland. Yeah, I was born in Maryland.
So when you grew up in your home, was it like, hey, you have to go to college?
Yeah.
Was that like, got to be doctor, lawyer, engineer? What was that like?
Yeah. There was only one path to financial freedom, success, and that was school for us. From a young early age, that was ingrained into my memory. It was school, school, school. It's the only way you become successful, and it's because my parents weren't really too successful through school, right? I mean, my parents immigrated here. They had to start from zero. My father was a taxi driver. My mother was a school teacher. And so, for them, they didn't want us to have the same lives as them. So they were like, you need to go to school and get a degree, get a good job, and this is how you become successful in the United States of America. And I ate it up. I mean, my brothers went and did 4 years of university. They did 4 years of dental school. And my older brother did 4 years of oral surgery. So my older brother is an oral surgeon. He's the apex predator of the entire freaking dental industry. And then my middle brother is he's a general dentist. He owns his own dental practice, and they're both crushing it. So I had I had large shoes to fill, and I was like, holy shit, I need to go to school for 8 years. I need to do better than this. Mm-hmm. And so that was just the only way I was taught, bro.
So who were you in high school?
Who was I?
Yeah, were you in sports? Were you studying in school? Were you partying? Who was Reed in high school?
Yeah, both. First few years, I so middle school I was a bad kid. I got suspended a lot. I didn't like following rules. I hated following rules. I got suspended a lot. I switched schools. Then in high school, in Maryland, I kind of got my shit straight. First couple of years, I was straight A student, got all my stuff straight. And then last 2 years, I started doing sports. I did soccer, I did wrestling. And then I started fuck up a little bit again on my grades. And I started partying and stuff in high school as well, when I was last couple years before college. And I think the switch was because I started to realize that I was lied to, in classes and stuff. I remember I was taking this one AP exam, an advanced placement exam you take before you go to college. And
I took some AP class or something.
Yeah. This AP class will tell you and differentiate whether what college and stuff you're going to. Uh-huh. And I really wanted to go to this school called University of Maryland. It was this big school in Maryland, and I ended up going, but I had to transfer because my grades weren't as good. But I really wanted to get straight shot into that school, and I couldn't because I had failed this AP exam, and I got a 3 instead of the 4 that I needed or something. And I remember me being so pissed off because I studied so much for it. And then I was like, you know what, screw this, F this. What type of institution is gonna grade me based on what I did on an exam and choose where I decide to go to study university? This is stupid. And then I started to realize that from a young age we're programmed and we're lied to because what type of qualifications does my science teacher have to fail me, right, if they're not even a scientist themselves? Mm-hmm. What type of qualifications does my English teacher have to fail me if they have never written a bestseller? What inventions has my science teacher have done? My fitness teacher is a fat piece of shit. why am I being lied to? And like, why am I learning how to do business from an economics professor who has never created a single preneur before?
Let's go.
That's a good point, man. I mean, I remember being in an entrepreneur class in college and being like, this motherfucker's never even built a business. Why?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
It's Rockefeller-based education.
He sold it, and the funny thing is, he sold me the nightmare of entrepreneurship to where I was in that class to like, I was venturing in college, and I was like in school to be an engineer, and I took that entrepreneurship class, and I was like, they're like, hey, your income's not guaranteed, you're going to be working more hours, like they're just selling me the nightmare, and I'm like, oh, thank God I'm not fucking doing this. But, you know, as the tables turned years later. But how did you come to that realization of in high school? Because it took me way longer to come to that realization.
Yeah.
What influence? Was it research? Was it just like through your own thought process? Like, what was
Yeah.
that thought process like to come to that?
Yeah, I'm the type of person where like I hate being lied to. Like just shoot me straight. Tell me what it is up front and then let me make the decision, right? So I hated being lied to and saying, "Hey, you're not good enough to go to this school." And like my reasoning of wanting to go to that university was so stupid. It's because I wanted to be closer to my friends. And all my friends had money and I grew up in like this neighborhood where like my entire friend group had a bunch of trust funds, and because like my parents really stretched their money to like put me in a really good schooling district, and the zip code that I was growing up in was like a really good area. Even though we didn't have the means to like, you know, live in that area, my parents like pushed me to get me barely into that zip code where I could go to the good schools. And so I was grateful for that because I grew up around a lot of rich people. Like I didn't grow up in a bad neighborhood. And I feel like that pushed me to like compare myself to my friends. And it was just, I was pissed off, bro. I was pissed off that I didn't have the car that my friends had. I couldn't go to the schools that my friends went to. And I was just mad. I got angry at the world. I got mad at my parents for a while. I thought my parents had a lot of money because I was growing up in these areas. And I was like, you guys have money. Like, why can't you pay for this and that? Then I started to realize, like, my parents never had money. They were struggling. So once that clicked, I was like, there's no way I'm going to be refused to live the life that I want based on, like, how much money I have. Mm-hmm. So then I was like, all right, well, there needs to be another way to make money. I started asking what my friends' parents were doing. They were business owners. They were entrepreneurs. My best friend's father, like, immigrated to this country and started, like, a construction business. And, like, he opened up hotels and stuff, no college education. And I was like, how the hell is he doing that? And he barely even speaks English. Mm-hmm. So that's when I started to like research like how to make money. Like I remember like sitting in my bedroom one night just Googling like how to make money. How is money made?
Did you Google how to make money?
Yeah, how to make
That's
money.
fucking hilarious.
How to make money. How is money made? How is it created? How is it printed? And then I started to like research all these things, and I was like, yeah, like this is all just a play. Like,
yeah.
Being put into school, becoming a worker, is all just a play. So I got jobs. I started working as a cashier at like restaurants. I did a bunch of like blue collar work. I started working at construction companies with my friend because that's what his dad was doing. So I was like, let me just be around that. Let me just figure out how the hell that works. And then slowly I got like good jobs. I got into like an investment banking internship. I leveraged one of my friend's connections. So like I forced myself to surround myself around a bunch of like rich people. And I was like, yeah, I mean, that's the way I pretty much got into it.
You networked your way to the top.
Well,
Yeah.
it's kind of like the DMV, there's no middle class. You're either really poor or you're really rich. And like going out on the party scene, like, I don't know, the Triangle, was it College Park?
Yeah.
The Triangle?
Yeah, you know.
Like,
yeah.
it's like they're all wealthy. Like everybody that's there usually is.
You from the DMV?
No, I was stationed out there for 2 years.
Okay.
So I was in DC that whole time. And it's
Yeah.
just like seeing the culture is super different than seeing Dallas culture.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And
So-
I got put into like, dude, so my grades weren't good. Going back to like school, like my grades were not good when I went to college. So I had to like either go to like this community college, which is Montgomery College, and then transfer into University of Maryland, which I was going to do, but my parents like made it seem like I was a failure if I went to a community college because that's how Middle Easterns are. Like you can't
Facts.
go to a community college. And I'm like, all right. So then I went to this school like in Baltimore called Towson University. And it was a university in Baltimore. And it's like a huge bar school. Like all my friends were in fraternities and stuff. And I remember like the first 2 years I was there before I transferred to University of Maryland, I started to like grind my ass off. First year I like fucked off a little bit. And then second year I was like, you know what, screw this. I can't be in this environment. because all my friends are in fraternities and stuff. Let me just like live from home. So then I started like taking my classes from home, and this was in 2020. COVID had just hit, so I had the best excuse ever. Like I wrote like medical letters to my like dean at my principal at my school saying that like my family was at risk for COVID, this and that. I have to like finish my university at home. Mm-hmm. And so somehow I got away with it. So I managed to get pardoned and take all my classes remotely from my house in Maryland, so I wouldn't have to drive back and forth to school. Nice. And in 2020 is where I created like my trading business, like my stock business. I started to work multiple jobs in my neighborhood, and I really like grinded my ass off that year. And that's when everything started to take off. I transferred into like my dream school, University of Maryland, that year, and then I finished college. And then like throughout college, throughout the remainder of my 2 years as well, right? I was 20 at the time. From 20 to when I was 22 years old, when I graduated in 2020 to 2022, I did everything online for school.
So what did you major in?
Economics.
And why did you pick economics? Because you wanted to learn about money?
Yeah, I was like, you know what, dude, I'm not smart enough to go to a business school. Like, I'm not going to, I couldn't get into a business school at Maryland, and I'm not going to do some random stupid degree. So I was like, I might as well just, like, get something close to business, which is economics. Even though, like, I knew in the back of my head, like, I wasn't going to become an economics professor. Like, what the hell are you going to do with that degree?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But it's just something that, like, to make my parents happy, to give them that reassurance where, like, I graduated from the same school that my brothers did, and I got a degree, and that's all that really mattered at that time to, like, get my parents off my back.
Yeah.
So I could just do what I wanted to do and run my businesses and focus on me.
So when did you start getting into you said ATM, so how old were you when you started doing your ATM business?
ATM business was, it was like 18, 19 years old.
So you've already, like, as you're going into college, you're building businesses. You already know that's what you want to do.
Yeah. Yeah. I realized I was lied to, bro, when I was in high school. Like, senior year of high school, before even getting into that college, that summer, I realized I was fucking lied to. I was like, this is bullshit. I don't even want to go to school, but if I have to, like, I'm just going to finesse it. I'm going to figure it out.
All because of that AP exam?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's so fucking interesting,
failed
bro.
an AP exam, bro, and I got so
That
pissed.
was probably the greatest thing that happened to you.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I remember, like, my academic advisor, like, literally looked at me and said, you're not going to get into university. Like, you're going to have to go to, like, a Montgomery, you're going to have to go to a community college. And I was like, fuck you. Like, what? Like, I have the loans and everything set up. What do you mean I can't get into university? You're like, yeah, you got a 3 on this AP exam and you needed a 4. Because everything else was set. I had all my other grades were good. And I failed a science exam, bro. And I'm like, I'm not even majoring in science. They're like, doesn't matter. They're not going to take you.
Damn, that's
And
funny.
I was like, that was like a big, like, fuck you to me. And I was like, no, screw this.
And then, so as you're building your businesses, you're getting into, you said you're running multiple business, multiple jobs.
Yeah.
When did you, like, get a mentor?
Yeah, so this is a great question. So 2020, everything kind of hit at once. The year I was 20 years old, this was my sophomore year at Towson University before I even got into Maryland. And I realized, like, okay, I'm not going to do anything with my degree because I realized if I even transferred to Maryland, I wasn't going to get into the business school because I wasn't that smart. And I was like, okay, I ran all the pros and cons. I'm not going to get into business school. I'm going to get some stupid degree to make my parents proud. So I really have, like, 2 years to figure this shit out. And that was, I put myself in a time limit. I was like, I have 2 years to figure this out. Otherwise, I'm screwed and my life's ruined because I can't get into business school. I can't get my MBA. So this is it. So my back was against the wall. So then, dude, I did everything, bro. I got an investment banking internship. I started to learn how to trade stocks. I spent a lot of time closely with the CEO of that brokerage. I at first wanted to become an investment banker. Then I switched around and started looking into real estate a little bit. I met one of my mentors at like a restaurant, like a bar. He owned a mortgage company.
Just out, like, at a bar.
Yeah, so it was this
How did that-
restaurant.
yeah,
I was 20 years old. There was this restaurant that turned into like a nightclub. Right? I was eating food by myself, and I remember this was like after my classes that day, and I was just about to go home, and then the restaurant turns into like a club at night. It's called Zebby's Garden. It's like in DuPont Circle in DC. It's called Zebby's Garden or something. And then I remember that, and I was like, you know what? Like, I'm just gonna stay here. Whatever. Like, I've never been to a club before. This is cool. And I noticed it was like 10, 11 p.m. I was like just talking to the waiter and stuff, having a good time, just talking to him about like just waiter jobs and shit. And then I remember there was this section in the back of the club where like these like Middle Eastern guys like were like partying and shit. And this sign comes out. You know at the club, like, you know, bottle girls and come out with signs and shit.
I know.
This sign comes out, and it says we print money or something, or we lend money, or we print money. And I was like, what the hell does that mean? So then I like walked over, bro. I'm just so curious all the time. Like, I don't give a shit. I just walk over and I see these guys like partying, popping bottles, like wearing super expensive watches. And then I started to realize like they're Persian. Like they're Persian like I am. Because they had like one of these necklaces on, the Farahar. So I was like, they're Persian. Let me go say what's up to them. And I go talk to this guy. His name is Behnoud. He's like one of my mentors, like still to this day. We actually was literally with him in Colombia like a couple days ago.
Was that photo, the video you said, you posted something, it was like, now, years later, I'm with my mentor.
Yeah, yeah.
I sent that in our group chat, and I was like, this is going to be us in a few years.
Yeah, that was him, yeah.
That was dope.
I met my first official mentor at a club. He was wearing a really expensive Rolex. And I walked up to him, and I was like, hey, bro, just quick question, right? And he was like, what? And I was like, are you Persian? He's like, yeah. I was like, okay, well, salam, how are you? I was talking Farsi a little bit. I was like, dude, like, you can tell me to fuck off if you want, bro. I don't want to bother you. Like, what do you do? And he was like, we lend money. Like, we make money and then we lend it. And I was like, what the hell does that mean? He's like, we give loans. We print money, we lend it, and that's all we do. And I was like, so you're in the mortgage business? He's like, yeah, we're in the mortgage business. And, dude, at that moment, I was like, the way he was talking to me was like kind of like a bigger brother. Like, he's like 10 years older than me. He's like 37, 38. He's like my brother's age. So I was like, dude, I want to learn what you're doing, bro. Like, just teach me. I'll do whatever it takes. And he was like, okay, sure, bro. And he, like, I knew he was like a little bit like fucked up and he wasn't really paying attention. He was like, who's this 20-year-old walking up to me? So he hands me his business card and he's like, show up to my office on Monday. And then he just looked away and then just waved goodbye. And I was like, okay. Got his business card, went straight home, bro. That night, Saturday night, picked out my nicest fucking suit. And I've laid it out on my bed, I remember, bro, clearly. And I didn't fucking sleep that night, bro. I was like researching how to like impress like, you know, business owners and stuff on Google. And because there was no ChatGPT back then. And then I showed up to his office on Monday, bro, crisp, with the suit, 8 a.m., the door opened, and he was like, he just looked at me. He was like the first one in the office, and he didn't remember who I was. He was like, who the fuck are you? Like, I don't have any meetings right now. And I'm like, dude, I met you on Saturday. And he was like, what? And then I showed him his business card, and he was like, oh, shit. Like, he was so surprised that he saw me at his office. And he's like, yeah, you told me to come to your office, bro. So he was like, okay, fuck, bro, let's sit down. I have a meeting in 30 minutes. Let's chat. Like, and then he's like, what do you want to do? And I was like, I don't know, man. I just want to get into real estate. You know, I saw that you do lending. I talked to you. I'm interested in learning more. Like, just I have a couple years before I graduate. I'm willing to do whatever it takes. And so, long story short, bro, I got into business with him. He had a few real estate properties. He was teaching me a little bit about like the rental game and stuff. And in return, I was like cold calling mortgage leads for him. And so I was just cold calling because I had some cold calling experience back then. Because I was doing a little bit of wholesaling as well in real estate. So, dude, that's how I got into Airbnb, bro. Long story short, he had a vacant property in Virginia, in Vienna, and he, like, gave it to me. He's like, I have this vacant house. I told him about how I wanted to do Airbnb and stuff. He's like, yeah, take this house, rent it out, and whatever you keep on top of my mortgage is yours. And that's how I got started in Airbnb, bro. I started managing his fucking rentals.
Do you still have that business card he gave you?
No, I don't.
Oh, you could frame that, yeah.
That's
like
such a
that
dope
was like
fucking
a Wolf
story.
of Wall Street moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you're like, hey, show me your pay stub and I'll come work for you. Right now. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you
The
ever-
pay stub was the watch and the
Yeah.
fucking $100,000 car he had and like the fucking 3 girls he walked out the club with. That was the pay stub for me. I
feel
saw
you.
those 3 things and I'm like, I want to
That's it.
be you, bro.
Do you ever want to like recreate that in like a movie or like a short film or anything? You ever
Yeah.
have those thoughts?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that was like I didn't even know what the Wolf of Wall Street was, bro, at that moment. But when I watched the Wolf of Wall Street, I was like, holy shit! I was in that scene, bro. Yeah,
That's fucking
crazy.
dope, man. That's such a good story. I love how like you're literally giddy getting your suit the next day.
Yeah,
It's like the way I relate it to is like I remember being on like going to a field trip and I can't fucking sleep.
yeah,
That's hilarious.
yeah. It was insane, bro. And still to this day, like 5 years later, and we're still talking. I speak to him every week, and we're running up trips together, and we're doing a bunch of investments together. I'm buying my houses through him. Like he's lending me money on my houses that I'm buying. So it's some crazy shit, bro. Yeah.
How long did it take for you to walk in that door to where he trusted you to get that property?
He for him, bro, it was his philosophy is like he's one of the like biggest straight shooters that you'll ever meet, bro. And his philosophy is like he won't trust you, but he'll give you a chance. And like he won't. For him, like you have to prove him wrong or fuck him over for him to not trust you. Like he's a very giving person, but he knows when to pull the plug. Like he's very, very like fast with that. So like, it didn't take more than a couple weeks, bro, of me like working for him, and I would show up every single day at his office, and I'd be the first one in, the last one to leave, every single day. And after a couple weeks, he was like, "Yeah, bro, I have this house. One of my tenants moved out. Here you go. Here are the keys. Go out there, buy furniture." There's like a couple rooms that needed to be furnished. And he was like, do whatever you need to do, bro. Here's what I need. And the rest, I don't give a fuck. You can take it. So his mortgage was like $3K, bro. I remember the first month I listed it on Airbnb, we made like $6,500 in revenue. And I kept a few $1,000s, bro. And that was like my first like fucking fat paycheck.
Mm-hmm.
And then, yeah, after that, bro, like, I'm not going to lie. I fucked up on his house a lot because I was kind of figuring out how the business worked. I wanted to automate it. I wanted it to be a little bit more passive. So I started to like hire cleaners and hire handymans to do stuff for me so I didn't have to drive out there every day. I wanted to learn how to scale it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I really messed up doing that because I didn't know how to manage my cleaners. I didn't know how to pay them. I didn't know how to inspect the properties. So then we had guests come in, give us bad reviews because some of the rooms weren't cleaned. And then, eventually, like, he fucking pulled the plug and like, fired me as his property manager. That was a funny story.
Really?
Yeah, he was like, I gave you this chance, you fucked up, and you made your bed, now you're going to sleep in it, and now you're going to find yourself a replacement. And I'm like, holy shit. So then I had to, like, find another property manager to manage his house. And then I went back to cold calling for him on his mortgage company because I wanted to, like, to redeem myself.
Mm-hmm.
And then, yeah, after a while, I started to help him close some loans, and then I started to get my own Airbnbs, and I just kind of like learned through that process, bro. And then I got this other investor. My one of his friends connected me to is this investor from Dubai. He started buying like 3 or 4 houses in the States in Maryland. I was managing his properties, and then like word spread, and I became a good property manager. And then I started to like I had a management portfolio of about like 9-10 houses, bro, like nice houses. And I would take like, they were all like making around like $6,000 to $7,000 a month in revenue, and I was taking like 10% off each house, 10%, 10%, 10%. And that was like my first 10K month, bro, was just me just managing houses.
Why Airbnb? Like how did that connection from, hey, let me get into from the lending and then closing the gap to Airbnb?
Yeah. So, dude, I lost a lot of money in the stock market, bro. And then I started to realize, like, this is not what I want to do. I want to get into, like, real estate. I always knew I wanted to get into real estate. My dumbass just thought I needed to have a lot of money because I didn't know, like, you could leverage other people's houses. You could manage them. You could sign leases with homeowners. I always thought I needed, like, a bunch of cash to buy houses. So then like I started like managing other people's houses, and I started to figure out that like, hey, I can wholesale houses, I can broker houses, I can start subleasing and managing houses for homeowners. And then I started to figure out like creative ways to get into real estate. I always knew that like 9 out of 10 millionaires were in real estate. Whether they were created through real estate, whether they already had money to put money into real estate, whatever the statistic was, I knew that majority of millionaires had or invested into real estate. So I was like, okay, well, I want to become a millionaire, so let me figure this shit out, right? And yeah, that's how I got into the business. I did a lot of wholesaling back then, and I realized like I didn't really want to become a transactional person. So I didn't want to do wholesaling. I didn't want to become a realtor because it was too transactional. It was too paycheck to paycheck for me. And I got into Airbnb because I started to realize that that was the best business model that taught you how to manage properties, how to manage a portfolio, and how to run a team, how to run a business. So like Airbnb is like a business. You're managing employees, you're managing partners, you're managing your investor, your homeowner as well, if you're working with them. So it taught you both aspects of business, the real estate side of the business and just running and operating people and managing people. And it's like 85 to 90% passive too. And you can do it wherever you want in the entire world. It's 100% remote. It's the only real estate business where you can run remotely if you have property managers in place.
That's it.
That's interesting.
With that, and from cashier to business bureaucrat, you know, like, what are the next goals? Like I know you're saying $1 million here. You're saying, but like, what's the 5 years, 10 years?
Yeah, bro. So I had a 5-year plan for myself, and I like wrote this out on my Instagram post, bro. And I didn't even know if I could like make it happen, but it eventually like happened. So in 2020, I got into property management. I did that for 1 year. Okay, in 2021, I got my first Airbnb arbitrage. So I went out and actually signed a lease with a homeowner. I leveraged a random person's house. I furnished it, and then I relisted that house on Airbnb. And I was making the difference in profit. So my first rental was like $1,500. It was this landlord named Chris, super chill guy. He was house hacking his duplex. So he was living in the bottom unit, and then he had the top unit for rent. So I took the top unit, I paid him $1,500 a month, and I was re-renting that unit on Airbnb and making like $3,000 and some change. And so the difference of that, I was pocketing. And so I did that for another year until like 2020, a couple years, until 2023. So I did arbitrage until 2023. Racked up like 10 or 15 of those properties, arbitrages, all over Maryland and Virginia. Like that's it. And then I got some in Texas as well towards the end of 2023. And then I saved up enough cash to buy my first house. So I had another mentor at the same time who was teaching me how to wholesale real estate. And I bought a house from him. My first house I bought from him. His name's Adam. And I bought my first house for 100 cash. He got it under contract for like 80,000. So he wholesaled it to me, made like 20,000 off me. And then I bought it for 100 cash. I put like 30,000 into it, 40,000. I renovated it because it was like a broken down home in like North Philadelphia, in like Germantown. It was like Germantown, Philadelphia. I renovated it, and then I got it reappraised for around $210,000. And I pulled all my equity back out of the house, and then I rented that property on Airbnb. So my mortgage was like $900 a month, and I was making around like $2,500 on Airbnb. Super like small numbers, but like I started to buy houses because I always wanted to become a homeowner. I always wanted to become an investor. So I'm like, how do I do this, right? So I went from property manager to arbitraging houses, and then eventually buying the houses, fixing them up, renovating them, renting them out, and refinancing, the old school Burr method. Did that for Airbnb. And then I bought my next house for $500,000 in DC the next year in 2024. I bought my second house. And then that same year in 2024, I bought my third house, which was a duplex here in East Dallas. I bought a duplex. And then all the lending was through my mentor. He lended every single house. He underwrote every single deal. He ran over all the numbers for me. He was I was looking at properties, and he was like, I was like only taking into consideration certain things like monthly payments, but then he would calculate the principal, the interest, the taxes, and he'd be like, no, this is not a good deal. You can't do this, or this is a good deal. You can do this. And so I had that mentor, and then I had my wholesaling mentor just helping me out, right? Because I knew how to do the Airbnb stuff at that point, but I didn't know how to underwrite a deal. I didn't know how to underwrite a wholesale deal or like what the mortgage payments and monthly payments would be. So they both helped me out with that. And I'm super grateful for that because I bought 3 more houses. And then this year I started my first development project. So
Nice. Whenever you were, first getting into Airbnb arbitrage, like how did you, because at first there's options to like rent and purchase and like get into it that way. Like how did the arbitrage like aspect get injected into you?
Yeah. So there was always that next level, bro. Like one thing about me is like I could never stand still. Like it's not that I'm like anxious to keep going, but like I can just never be complacent, bro. That's just I think it's like a disease that I have. I always tend to bite more off than I can chew, right? So at the time I was like, okay, I kind of mastered this management game. What's next?
When you're property managing.
Yeah, when I was property managing. I had 10 property management deals, and I was like, all right, this is dope. I know how to do this. I'm making good money. What's next? Right? That's always my philosophy. And then I got into arbitrage. I was like, okay, well, I don't need to buy houses to do arbitrage, but I also don't need to manage them, right? So I'll just leverage other people's houses. I'll sign leases with them. Instead of taking 10% of the profits, I'll take 100%. And I'll pay them their rent, whatever they want, every single month, and I'll keep the rest in profit. So I started doing that for a while. And it's in most states, it's completely legal, bro. As long as you can get a legally binding lease signed with a homeowner, right, just as a normal tenant, you take that house and you sublease it, and whatever the difference between rent and your revenue is, you pocket.
It makes so much sense. Was there anyone else doing that at that time?
There were some people, yeah. There were some people on Instagram and YouTube doing it. I learned a lot through YouTube. There's a couple coaches at the time. I won't name names, but I bought some courses from a couple big people actually here in Dallas who live in Texas. And
Are you not naming because out of respect or because it didn't turn out how you thought?
both.
Okay.
Out of respect. I'm good friends with them now, but like they're pretty big people in the Airbnb space. At the time, I had bought a course, and it was like they made it seem like it was kind of like a mentorship because I was really big into mentors. I was like, okay, my first mentor taught me how to wholesale. My second mentor taught me everything about like mortgages and how to like get into the Airbnb management space. I was like, let me just hire more like coaches.
Right.
Like, let me just invest more into myself. And then my third coach that I paid ended up being like a stupid course, bro. I paid like $6,000 for. I got put into a Facebook group of like 200,000 other people, and they literally just gave me a bunch of like modules and shit to watch, and they said, here you go, good luck, have fun.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck? So I taught myself how to do Airbnb. That was the only business where I taught myself how to do it. And then I found a business partner that I started to like get leases with, sign leases. And then I started to partner up with him. He went on and later like pretty much founded a company, a marketing company that went public on the New York Stock Exchange. And he kind of like scaled and left my Airbnb business to kind of scale his own. So yeah, bro, for the past like 3 years, I've just been running it myself.
So like, it seems like such a perfect business model because you don't own property and you just manage it. And then you're just basically like a project manager.
You're a middleman, bro.
You're a broker.
Yeah. You're a middleman. In this country, dude, like middlemen make the most amount of money. Like Amazon, they don't own products, bro. They just broker it.
Yeah.
Right? And they make billions of dollars every single year. Uber, they don't own cars, bro. They just broker cars. And they're a middleman. They collect fees off every single transaction. Spotify, they don't own the music. They just have a platform where like artists can list music. And so like Airbnb is the same thing, bro. Like Airbnb doesn't own houses. They just have a platform where homeowners can list their properties, and Airbnb collects a transaction fee off every single time a booking comes in and out.
So then what you do and what you teach people to do is to leverage the Airbnb app?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Airbnb, VRBO,
Right.
Booking.com. There's a bunch of short-term rental apps.
Uh-huh.
But what I teach people to do primarily is like the best foundational way to start investing in the real estate is through a short-term rental because you're learning how to manage people, manage a business, and manage homeowners and run a real estate property. And once you learn all those core fundamentals, eventually when you do make money, you can start buying your own houses, doing your own investment deals. And now you know how the entire rental business works.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So when you did you start systemizing this? I mean, obviously you learned it, but then you start like, how do I find the property manager, or how do I find the cleaners? How do I, like, you said before, you're like, I got screwed over because I didn't know how to manage the team.
Yeah.
Now it's like a systemized process that you go through. I know you're talking about automations earlier. We're big on automation, especially right now.
Yeah.
To scale it, is that what you had to start doing, the system approach?
To scale, automations and systems are very, very important, but you also need people you can trust, right? So many people think that you need to be local to run a real estate property, or need to be like the real estate property needs to be in your backyard, and that you need to manage it yourself. But there's no point in managing your own rental property, because at that point you're not running a business, the business is running you. So in order to scale, you need to figure out a way to take yourself outside of the business, right, and to replace yourself. So I started doing that with cleaners, right? Who's the most, who's the biggest person that has the most amount of foot traffic inside and outside of the property?
The cleaners.
The cleaner, right? So because the cleaner is already there pretty much all the time, cleaning and inspecting the house, I turn them into like my glorified property manager.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
So my cleaner will start to notify me if anything gets damaged, if anything needs to be repaired, if any supplies need to be replaced, shampoo, conditioner, soap, anything in the house. And on top of that, bro, like they're like literally my eyes on the ground. They're my boots on the ground. Every single cleaner's husband is also a handyman. That's usually how it works. Or I'll find a handyman and I'll connect them both together. So if anything gets damaged or needs to be replaced, like she knows to contact my handyman. And I make sure, live within 5 to 10 minutes of the house. So when I was in Maryland, bro, and I had properties here in Texas, in Dallas, San Antonio, Houston, I would have cleaners and handymans, and sometimes electricians. If the properties had a pool, I'd have a pool guy. So if anything went wrong, bro, I would check on the Ring cameras. I would know what to replace. I would know what to change, and my cleaner would give me a call, and I would send out a handyman or electrician or a plumber or whatever. And so I had for every single house, I would have 4 to 5 people who were boots on the ground, living within 5 to 10 minutes of that unit, that I could call on and rely on.
Okay, so how did you develop the trust with those people? Because you're not there, right?
Yeah.
So how did you start? Did you start compensating them, incentives? How did you develop trust?
It's hard, bro. It's hard. That's the one thing where it's still to this day, bro, one of the biggest things that I struggle on as a person is managing people, right? I'm trying to become a better leader, and I'm trying to become a better person to manage my team and manage my people, because, dude, I started to realize running a business is not difficult. What's difficult is running and managing the people who are in the business, because those are the people you can't rely on. Those are the people that are variables that are outside of your control. So to answer your question, bro, I couldn't trust them. I would have to it was trial and error, bro. I'd have to fire fast and hire faster.
Gotcha. Did you develop systems, did you develop systems to make sure that if there was a lack of trust or something happened with that, for example, let's say the handyman's not going to come, would you reach out to the plumber and be like, hey, was there ways that you did that?
Yeah.
Is that why you had 5 people so close?
Yeah. So if my cleaner didn't have time to get supplies or replenish supplies in our unit, my handyman would do it. I would but then the issue was my cleaner wouldn't tell me that we needed refills on shampoo and conditioner and stuff, and I wouldn't find out until after the fact the guest had checked in and complained about it. And when a guest complains about something, it's already too late, because they're going to write you a bad review and your listing is going to get bad. It's going to get tainted. So that's why my cleaners, I would be super, super strict on, and I would hire them fast and fire them faster, because if their communication wasn't on point, then my listing would get screwed over.
Did you use financial incentives? Did you pay cleaners more because it sounds like they were the...
No, just relationship based, bro.
Okay.
Cleaners are my cleanings are in an Airbnb business, cleanings are the biggest expense you have after rent. Mm-hmm. So if I'm paying my cleaners $1,000, $1,500 a month to clean a property, I don't they're getting fucking paid a shit ton of money. I don't need to pay them any extra. You can do me a few solids here and there.
Right.
So it was more the relationship that I built with them, right? Because if they did a good job, I would give them other properties to clean in the area as well. So that's how it incentivized them. And we would have specific checklists set in place where they would have a pre-inspection checklist whenever a guest would check out, and then a post-inspection. So it would take pictures before and after.
So that's a system.
That's a system that we had.
Okay,
we do it now through a software called Turnover BMB, and it's a software that pretty much systemizes the moment the cleaners come in, they check in, and the moment they check out, they submit pictures of the pre and post cleaning. And once we verify and approve the pictures, then they get paid directly through ACH through that software.
That's dope. Okay, that's solid, because that's an incentive. They're not going to get that cash in hand, that direct deposit, until the boxes are checked. That's dope.
Yeah,
That's what I was gonna ask, if you had like standard operating procedures.
Yeah, and the calendars. The good thing about that app is like the calendars are synced through all three of my STR platforms: Airbnb, Verbo, and Booking, so that whenever a booking comes in, it notifies them, hey, we just got a booking on Friday. September 5th is the check-in, and it notifies them on their calendar that they have to go and clean.
That's dope. That's automated.
Yeah, it's all automated.
That's fucking dope.
Yeah.
Would you what came first? You starting to mentor people, or you moving to Dallas?
I started to mentor people before I moved to Dallas. So I moved to Dallas July of 2024.
You haven't been here that long.
Yeah, a little over.
How do you like it?
I love it, bro. I love Dallas. I was out here to help my friend grow and scale his company that eventually went public. I also had a lot of like real estate properties and Airbnbs around here.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, and I always kind of knew I was going to end up in Texas or Florida. It was kind of like my two spots.
Makes sense.
So I was like, fuck it, let me just send it to Texas.
So how did you start mentoring people? Like, you figured this shit out. You're making money. You're buying properties.
Yeah.
Why did you? As I know you said you're big on relationships and things like that and mentorship. Yeah. So how did that go from me to let me pour into other people?
It was a little bit of both, man. So, well, first off, I was always posting, man. I was always posting on social media. I was posting my journey. I was posting the ups and downs, the wins and losses. I don't know what it was, man. I just wanted to record my journey, right? Mm-hmm. And I think it mainly was to prove to other people that there's more than one way to make it. I think it was like a big chip on my shoulder at the time where like my parents didn't know what the hell I was doing. My friends didn't know what the hell I was doing. Everyone was doubting me. Everyone was telling me that it's too risky. Go back to school, get a job. And my friends were all making fun of me because they had like really high paying like jobs that they would land after college and stuff. So I always like felt like I needed to prove to people that I'm like what I'm doing is good. I'm on the right path.
Yeah.
So that's why I was posting.
I fucking love that.
Yeah.
I feel that way right now.
It was in the beginning. It was for other people. It was kind of like, hey, fuck you. Like I know what I'm doing. You know what I mean? Now it's like I do it to inspire people and it's just a sense of fulfillment. Mm-hmm. So eventually I got into coaching a couple years back because a lot of people were like messaging me, bro. Like the more you post shit, I was furnishing properties, doing walkthroughs of like recordings of like the handymans and me setting up furniture, and like just like crazy like fun stupid experiences I would have after a guest checked out and the house was like trashed, and I would record everything, bro. So a lot of people were like reaching out to me, DMing me, asking me how to start, and at first I was helping a lot of people out, but then it got too busy to the point where I started charging like for my time. Right?
Makes sense.
And it was all local, bro. It was all local in like Maryland, Virginia. I would help people, and I would charge them like a couple $1,000s for like 3 months of coaching, and I would come out to their house, help them set up their property, help them inspect it. And back then, like a lot of these people would also pay me to manage their houses, right? So it was kind of like a win-win, right? Mm-hmm. So, and then I moved to Texas, and then I started like really like taking it to another level where I would start like doing events. I would start speaking on stages, doing masterminds. I would get invited to like real estate conferences, and then it really became too much to the point where like I had to hire a team to help other people out, hire an assistant, hire a chief acquisition officer, a COO, a CAO. So we grew it into like a consulting company now where we help people like countrywide.
That's fucking dope, man.
So you're doing two.
It was a big,
You're doing two different companies. Right
yeah,
now,
yeah. So right now I have my own management company that manages all my own Airbnbs. I have a consulting company that helps other people start their Airbnb businesses. And then I still do some wholesaling on the side a little bit. And then I have a development company I just opened up this year. So
let's go. We like busy people.
That's dope. So, okay. Yeah. So when you started mentoring people, what was your experience like with like having mentees like either not listen or you're like just fucking do the thing? Like, like what was that experience like? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, bro. So in the beginning, I didn't charge people, bro. In the beginning, I would hire. So like I learned the wholesale mentor I had was very helpful for me. I slept on his couch, bro, for an entire summer, and I learned how to wholesale real estate. Right. My other mentor, I would come into his office and cold call hundreds of leads every day for free, and I would learn how to how mortgages and underwriting deals would work. So I started to do the same with other people, bro. Like when I moved into my apartment in Virginia before Texas, I had a good social media following. I think I had 8,000 or 9,000 followers. And I posted a story one day. I was like, hey, I need someone to record me. I need you don't have to have experience. You don't need to be a professional, but I need someone to like walk around and hold a phone and record me because I was doing a lot of Airbnb projects around that area. And in exchange, I will let you sleep on my couch and I will let you shadow me for free and I will mentor you for free and teach you everything you need to know about the Airbnb business. So, dude, I got like hundreds of applications.
Really?
Bro. Yeah, hundreds of people swiping up. And a lot of them, like, I had come, and after, like, a week or so, like, they wouldn't be doing the shit that I want them to do. And I was like, I don't really like you. So they kind of, like, left. They bounced back and forth. I had this one guy in particular that really did stick around, and he would record and edit all my videos. He would record me cold call landlords. So I was, like, big on TikTok back then. And, like, I would be, like, cold calling a bunch of homeowners and stuff. He would record all that. And then eventually I moved to Texas and I did the exact same in Texas and I had like hundreds of people apply. And so like I did a lot of coaching for free, bro, like just for free. And then I started actually hiring a team like of professionals. And then I started to like really like charge for my time. But the biggest thing, bro, is like the biggest thing I struggle with when it comes to like managing people and coaching people is that they just obviously don't listen, bro, and they think it's a lot easier because social media makes it glamorous, and it's
real fucking work.
They don't, it's real work, and they're like, holy shit, like this is not like trading or like e-commerce where I can just sit behind a computer screen and click a bunch of buttons. I actually have to go and inspect a house in person.
Yeah.
Wait, I actually have to talk to homeowners. Wait, I actually have to cold call properties and people like, yeah, bro, this is real estate. So
and it makes fucking sense. Like it's a lucrative industry. It's a business, like you said. And like as you're explaining to me, I'm realizing you're in real estate and you're building a business.
Yeah.
So it's almost. Would you say it's more work?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, it's more work, bro. It's short-term rentals is a lot more work than any traditional long-term rental because when you buy a long-term rental, bro. Think about it. The average person who owns one's like 50, 60 years old. The only reason they even own a long-term rental is because their CPA told them to buy real estate 20 years ago. And they don't know shit about real estate, bro. They buy a house, they list it on Zillow, and they hope to break even on the mortgage and have someone stay in it and live in it. Right? And it's not a business for them because they already have their family, they already have a business, they already have a job, they already have their own like life.
Right.
And they're buying real estate on the side. And so those are known as more passive investors. For me, I'm investing in the real estate more actively. Like this is my full-time business where I'm making money through real estate. I'm not making money on my business or my job and investing into real estate. I'm making money through my real estate.
Right.
So it's a business for me, but I also get those passive benefits like tax benefits, incentives, equity appreciation. So
when now that you have your mentoring system, your coaching business, how do you decide who to spend time with? Is there like an incentive where if this person does X, Y, Z, then they get Reed's time? How does that work?
Yeah, dude. So back then, bro, like, dude, and the reason why I started coaching is one of the reasons is genuinely, well, there's two reasons actually. The biggest reason is I believe I was put on this earth for a purpose, and I'm religious, bro, and I believe God gave me a purpose and put me on this planet to be a vessel to help other people out.
What religion are you?
I'm Muslim.
Salam.
Yeah, assalamu alaikum. So that's the biggest reason. Number two is I wish someone did it for me, bro. I wish that the course I bought was more hands-on. I wish that I learned through a mentor, and I did. Thankfully, I was put into a good group of coaches and mentors where I was taught more hands-on, like in person, one-on-one. And I'm more of a hands-on learner myself, bro. Like I could never sit in a classroom and stare at a teacher and learn. Like for me, I would rather apply and fuck up and make mistakes and just blitz through and go through the motions and the trials and errors to learn that way and lose money than to sit in front of a classroom and to just learn.
Make sure everything's right.
Yeah, because you don't learn by like just listening to other people, bro. You actually have to like get down, roll your sleeves up, and actually do what people are preaching. So I'm more of a hands-on learner myself, right? A lot of people like the classroom, the YouTube, university, all that shit. For me, I'd rather lose money and lose time and fuck around and figure it out as I go to learn better. So, and I realize a lot of other people are also like that, bro.
Yeah.
So that's why I started to teach more one-on-one. That's why I don't sell courses. I don't offer courses. I post a lot of shit for free online for people who learn that way. A lot of people are like, yeah, bro, just send me a video, just send me a tutorial. And I'm like, all right, bro, here's my YouTube. Go watch it. And I post a lot of stuff on YouTube like that for free, but for my time, bro, because it's something that I'm really passionate about, and I spend a lot of like time actually helping other people out. That we do charge, like I charge a lot. It's very exclusive, and I only take on a few people per month because I want to give them my time, and I don't want to dilute my service.
Makes sense.
So
Makes sense.
So, going back now, your mom and dad, when they see you now, they're like, before it was like, oh shoot, I don't know, my boy's gonna make it, and then now how they feel?
dude, my parents are so delusional, and I love them, bro. And I would like when I was buying houses, bro, I would like force them to come to my closings. I wouldn't tell people shit until it was done.
Mm-hmm.
Like in the beginning, I really believed in like the evil eye. I was like, I wouldn't tell anything until it's done. Or like 1 week before my closing, I would text my mom and be like, hey, like I'm buying a house this Friday. Do you want to come with me? And she'd be like, what? You're buying a house? So in the beginning, like, because they doubted me a lot, bro. And I had to do it in silence. I couldn't like run a business and tell them about it and have them be supportive while I was still in school.
Because they're going to try to consult you on it.
They're going to try to consult
Bro,
me
I
on
have
it.
Middle Eastern parents. I know, bro. I got you.
Parents, they think everything's a scam, bro. They think everything's a scam. They think they know better. And it's not out of malice, bro. They're good people. Like, I love my parents.
They have good hearts.
They have good hearts. They just want you to succeed. But you can't take advice from someone who has never done what you want to do. It's impossible. And for them, like, the word scam I have an acronym for it. Anyone that thinks something's a scam is still scared about making money.
I love it. I haven't heard that one yet.
Yeah.
I haven't heard that one yet. That's good.
Still scared about money or still confused about money. They don't know how it works. So my parents were like skeptical of everything. So I just stopped telling them shit. And I would only tell them things once it's done. And now to this day, like I was with my parents a couple weeks ago because I was at my brother's baby shower and my brother just had a baby.
Uncle Reed, is that your first? That's the first baby?
Yeah, first one, bro.
Dang,
First girl
Uncle
in the family,
Reed,
bro.
The first girl in the
All
family.
boys. Oh yeah, you have all brothers, huh?
Yeah, 3 brothers, me and 2 of my other brothers.
That's dope. He has 3 sons.
Yeah.
Yeah,
three sons.
congrats, bro. It's
Blessing.
a blessing. Yeah. So, and I was messing around with my mom. I was like asking her a bunch of questions, and it's funny. She was still joking about it. She was like, "You should still go get your MBA and this and that."
Bro, oh my God,
I'm
that's
like,
so funny
dude,
you
I'm
say
25. I've made like millions of dollars in this business. Like, you have no idea. Like, I would literally show my parents screenshots of my bank account, and they'd still be like, "Well, you could lose it one day." And I'm
Yeah.
like, "What? That makes no sense."
My parents are the same way, man. So I have a few engineering degrees. I got my MBA, did all that shit, and then I got into entrepreneurship after the fact. I had my fucking fuck you realization a little later after I did it all. And my parents are still like, hey, you should go get your doctor. You should go be a lawyer. You should get into like, they all, I feel you on that.
Yeah, bro.
It's a traditional pathway, and that's all they know.
It's a traditional pathway, and I'm thankful that they the biggest things I'm thankful for is that they really put that chip on my shoulder, bro, you know? And it's better when you have nothing and you build it yourself because you're much more appreciative that way.
Mm-hmm.
I know a lot of friends who grew up with trust funds who have a shit ton of money and they're fucked up, depressed people because they don't know the value of anything else in life.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, I appreciate it a lot more, the humble beginnings and everything, and it makes it 10 times more worth it.
Do you still have relations with those friends or people that doubted you? And did they ever come and say, hey, man, I'm sorry? Or was it just kind of like fizzled that way?
I cut everyone off, bro.
Makes sense.
I cut everyone off. A lot of people say, like, money changes you into a different person. And yeah, it does. Like, it changed me into a better person. And I cut everyone off. And it's not that, like, money turned me into a different person. It's more so, like, I had to turn myself into a different person in order to get money. Right?
That's good. That's a
so,
bar.
like, you don't wake up with like 6-pack abs one day, bro. You have to turn into a different person and to obtain those different habits in order to get the 6-pack abs. Like,
Yeah.
I talk to my friends all the time who like my students all the time, and I'm like, because it's a mindset shift, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, bro, if I gave you a business that's doing $100,000 a month, like if I just gave you my Airbnb portfolio, would you know how to manage it? If so, how long would you think it would take for it to all go to shit?
Yeah.
Like, would you have those habits and those systems, and do you know how to manage a portfolio that big? If you woke up tomorrow with 6-pack abs, how long would it take you for them to all go away?
That's good.
Would you know how to keep it?
No, that's good.
So like a lot of people think money changes the person, but it doesn't. You have to change who you are in order to get money. You have to turn into that millionaire version of yourself that has those habits on a daily basis in order to become a millionaire.
That's good, bro. With your students now, I know that you're building men and women, and you know the goal is, you know, in a sense you're taking time out of your day to make sure that they're successful.
Yeah.
Is the vision to do kind of what you and your mentor are doing, is going and investing together and like taking over the world together?
Yeah.
Do you see like people coming up, or there probably has been people that have already made it? Like what's that experience like where they're coming on vacations with you, whatever that case may be?
I literally just went on a trip to Colombia. I just got back like literally yesterday. I was there for a week, and I was on that trip with like 4 of my students who are like my top students, have a bunch of properties. They even work with me now. Like my best students are my business partners. They work with me. We do deals together. So like the relationship that I want to build is like a good cult, like a good circle of people that I can rely on and trust on. And what better than the people that I grew myself, that I've coached myself and trained myself. So that's the dream, bro. Is like because these people have the balls to spend money for coaching, for mentorship, and they have the discipline to endure the entire process, right? Because when you start a program or a business, you're already 50% there. Starting is the most like difficult part. Many people can't even start, bro. It's really sad, but many people are so scared that they don't even have the courage to rip the Band-Aid off and start something. But when you start a business, you have to have the discipline to endure it. And once you're at the end, it's like you're a totally different person. And I've seen crazy transformations for my students, buying their dream cars, like paying for their families' mortgages, properties, buying their own houses. Like it's life-changing shit. Yeah. And I'm like, it feels, there's a different type of like fulfillment that I feel like when you're responsible for that. Yeah. And so like I do this, I coach and I mentor the same exact way I was coached, bro. Here's the fucking blueprint. You're either gonna put in the work or you're not. Here's the fucking here are the videos. You watch this. You book calls. We do deals together. I fly out and I meet up with my students. I inspect properties with them. I submit offers with them. I do 3-way call negotiations with them, with homeowners.
You're very involved.
Very involved, bro.
That's cool.
That's very involved. I record the entire process. I make videos out of them. I put them on my social media. So it creates like a spark
evidence,
for other
proof
people.
of concept.
Yeah, proof of concept. And I fucking love it, bro. I love it because I wish that's, you know, something that someone did for me. And that's how I learned through my mentors, bro. And it's all tough love, bro. It's all tough love. Like the students in my program who don't show up to calls with me, who don't cold call and submit deals to our program, or don't show up to the group coaching calls we have like every Monday and Wednesday, I don't give a shit. Like I don't care about them, right? The students that actually show up and put in the time, I pour all my energy into. And that's why like there's like it's so black and white. There's either people who fail or people who succeed.
Yeah.
It's kind of similar to us. Like you can have someone who's doing 9 to 5, they're making really good money. Say they're making $500,000, right? Whatever it is. But have they ever had anybody else make $500,000? Or like they're making $1 million a year, but have you ever had anybody else make $1 million a year? And you can literally add to the portfolio of how many lives that you've changed based on the knowledge that you've created and built. So it's like building people into that. It's loyalty. Like you don't get that anywhere else.
Yeah, bro, dude.
Entrepreneurship.
It's different when you make it, but it's a different type of fulfillment when you can help others do the same shit. Like that's why like success stories and stuff are so important. I record every single testimonial. We have a separate file for each and every single student we onboard. We record their journey every single month. We do monthly recap on earnings calls with them and look at their portfolio, their earnings, how much they've made. So it's very important, bro. It's one thing to make it yourself, and it's another thing to help other people do it, because being a good leader and a good coach is fucking difficult. Because not everyone has the same mindset as you do. Like I found myself like breaking things down. Like I found myself really needing to like restructure my program a few times to break everything down on like a 5th grade level so that everyone can get it. But at the end of the day, bro, like entrepreneurship is something that you have to have a purpose and a why for yourself. And if you don't have that, you, like no matter how much I can push someone, like I can't steer a parked car. Yeah. And that's my job. Like I tell every single student, is like my job is to steer you in the right direction. But if you're not putting your foot on the gas and if you're not operating the vehicle, I can't fucking steer the parked car for you, bro.
That's good. Did you ever struggle with your faith and believing in God?
Yeah, I did.
What was that like?
Yeah, bro. So I grew up Muslim, and I was a Persian. So I used to go to like Persian mosques and stuff all the time, and it got really weird. And my parents used to pray 5 times a day, and they used to go to mosque all the time, and we used to do like Friday prayer and Ramadan and all that stuff. And then towards like, I would say like COVID, bro, like 2020, I kind of just like dropped off my faith, and it was like a pretty traumatic event for us, bro. Like I don't know how long or how often you follow the news in Iran and stuff, but there was this event with this one girl named like Masa Amini.
Yeah, she was Kurdish.
Yeah.
She was half Kurdish, I think.
Yeah. So she was like walking one day in Iran, and our government's like been like corrupt for a very long time, bro, after the Shah left.
Yeah, I'm familiar.
And so like a lot of like bad things, terrorism, like it's a really bad like dictatorship, bro.
Yeah.
So there's one event, and there's a lot of scenarios like this, but the one big event that was kind of a turning point for my country in Iran and why I stopped going and visiting was because they were like abusing women, and a lot of people there who weren't wearing their hijabs, who weren't like, you know, and so they got this one girl named Masa Amini, and they like, dude, raped her and stoned her and killed her and did a bunch of bad shit. And that created a revolution in my country. And then my parents stopped like going to Iran. They stopped like praying, bro. It was like,
really?
Yeah, they stopped praying because the government like manipulated our religion and made it seem like
they hijacked it.
They made it seem like it was God's plan that, you know, this girl needed to die, that like she was defying God and the Quran and stuff like this. So my parents kind of rejected that. My parents are really good people, bro. They believe in doing good by everyone, and they don't believe that, you know, Allah like kills people.
Right.
You know, and just because you don't follow a certain religion or you follow a different deen or a different God doesn't mean that you have to die. Right. And so a lot of like terrorists, kind of like extremists, were hiding behind God and doing like crazy asinine things in the name of Allah. And so like my parents stopped getting religious, they stopped praying, and then by default I stopped as well. And then I recently gotten more faithful, bro. As of like a couple years ago, I started to go to like more Turkish mosques and other types of mosques, and not Persian mosques anymore, because it's still fucked up the way that they treat like women and just stuff in Iran right now.
Yeah.
And I've been going to church with my friends too.
I was just about to ask you about that.
I've been going to church. Like my COO is Christian. And my ex-girlfriend was Christian. Like I started to go to church and shit, and I was like, dude, this is dope. Like I'm the type of person where like I'm Muslim by heart, but like I don't think I need to, you know, be conducive to pick a certain religion, bro, in order to be a God-fearing man or in order to be faithful to God.
That's so funny.
We were going over similarities.
So my philosophy is God. There's one God, and He uses different ways to speak to you. Yeah. Whether it be through Islam or Christianity or whatever medium He uses to speak to you. That's my philosophy on it. But go ahead. I want to ask a follow-up question on that.
So yeah, we were going over because in the insurance.
I'm around a lot of great Christian human beings. Like all my mentors are Christian. Yeah. Some of the greatest people I know in the world are Christian. Yeah. And I'm kind of like the odd one out in most cases.
Mm-hmm. Same, bro. Yeah. I hang out around a lot of Christian people, and the way I see it, bro, is like the creator of the world, the creator of all people. God's such a great like spirit and a great person, where I truly disbelieve that this person is going to put you to hell because you have a separate deen or a separate religion, and because you're Christian, and if your God's not Allah, you're going to go to hell. Like I don't believe in any of that shit. So like for me, it's being a good person, doing good by anyone. You treat others how you want to be treated. You respect everyone, and you learn to forgive, not forget everyone on a lot of things. And bro, at the end of the day, like I go to Jummah and I go to Friday prayer every Friday, and I go to a church every Sunday with my Christian friends, bro. And
wow.
Yeah.
You go every Sunday?
Every Sunday. Yeah.
Wow. That's cool.
What was your? Because I remember when you posted the first time you went to church. It was like a few weeks ago, maybe.
Yeah, it was
a few months.
It was like a couple months ago. Yeah.
And I kind of, from watching you, I kind of assumed you were Muslim, and then you said you posted a video. You're like, hey, I went to the church for the first time. You posted a video.
Yeah.
And I responded to you. I was like, what are your thoughts on being a Muslim and going to church? So now I get to finally ask you, what is your thoughts on being a Muslim and going to church?
I think at first it's weird, bro, because it's a cultural thing. And for me, it's not like, it's not a religious thing. It's more of a cultural thing that everyone believes that you have to pick, that you have to choose. And dude, I went to church for the first time and I was I didn't know what to expect. I thought I was going to get kicked out. I thought like people were going to I was afraid to tell people I was Muslim. And bro, like people started to ask me like, have you been here before? Is this your first time? And I was like, no, it's not. And then like, people started to pick up that I wasn't Christian, and everyone was so welcoming. Everyone was so like friendly. And I brought my Christian friend to a mosque for the first time ever as well.
Yeah.
And he was also like freaking out. He was
Yeah.
like, dude, am I going to get my head cut off? Like, what's going on? Like,
Bro, I want to go. Take me on.
I got
Yeah.
you. We'll go, what's today? We'll go Friday.
and everyone was so welcoming, bro. And like, part of me is like, well, they probably want to convert them to Islam and vice versa. But like, dude, they're great people, bro. And as long as you believe in a faith, and in a God, bro, and you have that like sense of like moral compass, you're good, bro. And I know some people who don't even like, a lot of Persians aren't even like that religious, bro. They're just good people, genuinely good people.
Right.
And yeah, bro, that's it. So.
Anything on your mind? Okay, so with what was your experience like in terms of do you enjoy the singing? Because I've been to church like a couple times too, just and like I know that they always ask about getting baptized.
Yeah.
And like the singing and they mention Jesus a lot. Like, what are your thoughts on the singing, mentioning Jesus instead of God? Like, what is? Are you singing in there? Like, what is? I just want to know your feedback on that.
Bro, the first time I went to church, bro, I felt like the singing. I didn't expect it. And in the beginning, they sing to like warm up the room to get everyone like a little bit like fired up before they start doing prayer and start like the sermon starts preaching.
Because I enjoy the word. I enjoy the
word of the Bible, bro. Like when the lectures and the word of the Bible is like my favorite. I don't like to go to churches where they just talk and yap about random stuff. Like they need to be like reading from the Bible or reading from the Quran, like actual verses. But bro, like dude, when I say like I teared up, bro. Like I almost like I was crying pretty much when I first went to church. But there was something that hit me so hard, bro, and it was probably the Holy Spirit. And it's something that hit me so hard. At the end of the church, bro, this sermon like was just ripping into like the Bible and like just cold, hard, like just verses, and it just hit me, bro. And like some churches don't do that, but I went to a church here in Dallas. It was called Upper Room. Mm-hmm. And dude, a couple sermons like made me really like feel so heavy, bro. I felt like a different person walking out, and I was like, holy shit, what was that? And the mosque never really did that for me, bro. But I still go to mosque because it's a different setup, and it's a different vibe, and I like it. And I want to like educate myself more on just God himself and both books of faith. And I don't want to discriminate, and I don't want to like have to feel like I have to pick a certain religion to be faithful.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, church hit different, and I think it's the music and it's the Holy Spirit is different in that room, bro.
I agree with you. I like there's different forms of communication to God.
Yeah, and maybe it's because like I speak English, bro, and I understand English more than Arabic.
Right. Yeah.
Maybe, but
that's the communication aspect of it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I feel like maybe if I understood more Arabic and I was more in tune with that, I would, yeah.
I'll probably butcher it, but I think even Marcus Aurelius said something like, if you believe in God and there is no God, then you lived a just life. If you believe in God, but there is a God and he's a just God, then you did well for yourself. Yeah. And if you believe in God and that God is not just, then you lived a great life still. It's still as a human, you're still living a good life regardless of the pathway you choose to go, if there is.
Dude, and it's funny because like people will have people will have like verses and you know, stuff written in their bio of how they're like religious and they're a Christian and there's this and that, and like they're the worst people ever, bro. Like, I know people who are religious who scam, they steal, they cheat, and they fuck people over, and they kill people, bro. Like the people who are running my country in Iran, in the Middle East, they kill people over oil, over power, over manipulation. So it's like I know more religious people who are bad people than unreligious people. And at the end of the day, bro, like, none of this shit matters, bro. Just be a good person. Don't fuck anyone over. Don't screw anyone over. And that's it. Like, you don't need to... It's because a lot of people do bad things and they hide behind religion.
Yeah.
Like, I have a lot of Muslim friends, bro, who don't drink, who don't smoke, who don't do drugs, because in the Quran you're not allowed to drink alcohol. Yeah. Who don't wear gold.
You're not to have an altered state.
Yeah. Who don't wear gold, bro, because in the Quran you're not allowed to wear gold for men. And they fucking scam, they cheat, they steal, they do a lot of other fucked up shit. And it's like, dude, you're like, you got it backwards, bro. You know what I mean?
I'd rather you drink and just be a better person.
Yeah, exactly. And it just makes no sense, bro. So like, yeah, like a lot of my Muslim friends like don't smoke weed, but like they'll do hookah and like, you know, cigarettes and
everyone picks and chooses.
Yeah,
like that's what I've noticed about just human beings in general. Doesn't matter what religion or whatever it is, you pick and choose whatever you want out of all of it.
Yeah.
Are you switching gears? Are you married?
No.
Okay.
No.
So you're single? Are you dating?
I'm single.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's dating life been like over the years as you've grown?
Dude, so I've been in like serial relationships, bro. So like in high school I've been in a relationship for like 2 years, then I got into college, I've been in a relationship for another 2 years. Then I got out, and then I got into another relationship with this girl for like the last year, and then I recently broke up with her it's almost been like 8-9 months now.
Bro,
so
that's literally like we have a lot of parallels, which is very interesting.
Yeah. But it's just like, dude, honestly, man, I don't know what it is, bro, but I know for a fact, like, the values that I have are set, bro, and I'm a very traditional person. My wife's not on Instagram, bro. My wife's not in Dallas. My wife's not even in this fucking country. Like, I've really come to the realization that, like, my person that I'm meeting is not going to be anywhere in this fucking country, bro.
Yeah.
I hate how Western women, like, they're huge feminists. They're like coming after men, and it's mostly our fault, bro. As men, like a lot of men are fucking trash, bro. A lot of men don't know how to provide, don't know how to protect, don't know how to support a woman and treat a woman, and so like a lot of women will settle for like low value men, and then it fucks them up because it shows them that this is the norm, and it just fucks the whole Western dating culture, and that's why I don't date, bro. I don't have time to take women out on dates. I don't go on dinner dates. Like, if I have to spend 2 hours on a fucking table and stare at someone, I must be really, really in love with you. You must be my mother or my blood, or I have to be breaking bread with you, bro. I can't be sitting across a dinner with a random girl I met on Tinder for like 2 hours and talk about how the weather was and just random shit, bro. I'm too busy for that. Like, I can't. So
it's like the divorce rate, at least in Western civilization, the divorce rate's so high. It's like everybody's mom and dad aren't together.
Yeah.
Out here.
I always say I don't want an American woman.
Yeah.
I don't want. I don't see that.
I don't want like an American woman, but I also don't want one that's like too traditional and like Middle
Facts.
Eastern.
Yeah. I don't either.
Yeah, I need the perfect
So there's like no hope
of,
for
like,
us almost.
Perfect amount of like whitewash. Bit, but like not too. Yeah.
No, I think the thing is you want someone who's immigrated here, that's lived up in a traditional. It's kind of similar to us. Grew up traditionally, but had the American spirits, but not too much to where they were, like you said, like Americanized or Westernized.
Yeah, and family matters, bro. Like, dude, growing up in a household where like your father's in your life, your mother's in your life, that shit's very important, especially for a female. Because if you have no father figure in your life, you're fucked up.
It's over,
life, dude. It's over.
Yeah.
So, like, family matters a lot for me, because when you date and you marry someone, you're essentially marrying their family as well.
Right.
So that's like very important. Plus, like, dude, I want someone who's like low key and like does her own thing and has her own like preneurs, and like she's not a bum and just sits in the kitchen all day. But I also don't want a female who's like a model and all over Instagram, and like she has like multiple businesses going on, like just a little bit in between of both is perfect for me.
Nice.
Well, yeah, big word for me is I want someone modest.
Yeah.
What's your big vision, man?
Dude, I wanna build buildings. I wanna have like the same shit like Trump's doing, bro. I wanna fucking build a building in every new city and block off 2 floors in that building just for myself and live in those 2 different floors, penthouse in every single city. That's it, bro. I want that, and I want it to fucking have MMM all over it. And development was always my dream, and I'm developing my first project right now. It's a really, really big spec home. It's a $2 million house I'm building in Rockwall. So after I sell that, I'm going to start building more affordable homes, like $400,000, $500,000, $600,000 homes. I'm going to build those homes. I'm going to rent them out. I'm going to refinance all that money out, just like the Burr method. I'm going to do it for Airbnb. And then eventually, bro, I'm going to create my own REIT in the next couple years.
Your own what?
My REIT, my own real estate investment trust.
Okay.
So I'm going to create my own REIT. It's going to start off private. I'm only going to have friends and family invest into it, pile up a bunch of money, buy a fucking building or an apartment complex, like a nice boutique hotel, 10 unit, 15 unit, small. And then eventually, dude, bring it public, bro, and do crowdfunding just like Grant Cardone and all these big guys, where they're involving like public money and allowing public people to invest into their projects. That's it, bro. Real estate all the fucking way, and I'm never gonna do anything else.
That's dope, man. Anything else that you want to maybe ask us, or anything you want to bring up that we can maybe talk more about?
Yeah. Well, I mean, what got you into the insurance business, bro? What are you doing with that? Are you investing into anything, or just growing your active income and the businesses there?
So I'll kind of give you my story, right?
Yeah.
So born in Kurdistan, northern Iraq, and when I was 1 year old, mom and dad was like, we gotta get the fuck out of here. We're having a baby. Moved to Dallas when I was 2 years old. And, we grew up, didn't really have money, but you're around, like, you're poor, but everyone's around you poor, so you don't really know you're poor.
Yeah.
And so, Middle Eastern parents, you have to have good grades. You got to be doctor, lawyer, engineer. So,
What were you supposed to be?
I'm an engineer. I did it.
Okay.
So I fucking did it. I did. I got all the way through, man. Yeah. And, but the thing was, like, me growing up, I like to, like, I like to party. I had to fun, did all that stuff. So it was like I had good grades. It was up and down. Got into AP classes my senior year, right? It was like I was fucking around, and then my senior year, I was like, oh shit, I got to get my shit together. Yeah. Got in AP classes, got good grades, ended up going to community college. So that's when me and my dad were fighting, things like that. Eventually started like going from community college went to UNT.
Nice.
Got a mechanical engineering degree. Got a bunch of like extra certifications when I graduated. So had like a bunch of internships while I was in college. So mechanical engineering degree, nuclear engineering like certifications, machining and manufacturing certifications. Came out, got a engineering job in Wiley, and like started making out $70K right out of college. So it was like
that was good money back
then.
then.
It was fucking phenomenal,
Yeah,
bro. It was like I made it, like, and it was like like I wasn't like book smart or a genius or anything like that. So when I fucking did it, bro, I remember like, and I hadn't got an internship first. Yeah. So when I got my internship, it wasn't guaranteed I was gonna have a job, but then I got the fucking offer. And bro, when I got that offer and it was on paper and I just had to fucking sign it, I remember I went in my car, I went and turned on Dreams and Nightmare by Meek Mill, and I'm fucking like crying because I'm like, dude, I fucking did it. Yeah. And so, that was like, and I started making a little bit of money doing that, just focusing in, and like imposter syndrome kicked in because I'm like, oh fuck, I'm a real engineer. I gotta like actually perform. Yeah. And
did you get bored, or like what happened, bro? How'd you switch over to?
So yeah. So I'm still fucking making money and like working my way up the corporate ladder, coming in early, staying late, and then I'm saving money in a savings account, and I'm like, okay, I gotta fucking do something. I don't know what to do though, because I don't have any mentors or I don't have anything like that. So all I know is school. So I end up going back to school, and my mom and dad are like, hey, you should get your master's, So I go back, I get my MBA. So I'm working full-time engineer, getting my MBA, get my MBA, spent like my own money out of pocket on it. And I'm like, okay, I got my MBA. Can I get a raise or promotion? Went back to my boss, and she's like, that's not how that works. Oh, shit. And that was like that was my fuck you moment. And I'm like, I'm like, what the fuck did I just do this for then? Yeah. And even after that, I switched jobs. I ended up working at a Fortune 50 company as a biomedical engineer. So that was another like, fuck yeah, we're still doing it. Kept me more alive. got more certifications, auditing certification, green belt, yellow belt, black belt, all these certifications in engineering that like are supposed to help me boost up. And it just wasn't equaling more money, bro. And I'm like, this doesn't make any fucking sense. Why am I doing this if it's not making me more money? And like cost is going up and everything. I'm like trying to buy a house, like trying to live my life, and it's just fucking pushing me back.
Yeah.
And so I start doing, I hit up our buddy Tyler, and he does roofing and solar, like door knocking.
Yeah.
And that was my first, and I was like, bro, put me fucking on. I see y'all making money. Y'all don't have degrees. Y'all working less than me. Like, sales looks like the way out. And so I started doing that a little bit, got a couple deals here and there, and I'm like, oh shit, I just made $5,000 here, $8,000 here, just by knocking doors. I was like, okay, if I just knock on a fucking doors and people know who I am, the referrals come in. And I was like, okay, that's sales business. I can see how this system works now. But I would always watch Patrick Bet-David.
Yeah.
So like literally, bro, being in high school,
Persian, bro.
Yeah, he's from Iran. Yeah, that's how I know a lot about Iran. So he, when I was in fucking college, I literally went to Google and I typed in how to become a millionaire, just like you
Same
did.
shit, bro.
And so when I did that, it took me to YouTube, and Patrick Bet-David had a video, 3 ways to make $1 million.
Yeah.
And I watched that one video, and then I watched another video, and then it just went down his fucking YouTube rabbit hole.
Yeah.
And I would just watch his videos for fucking years, bro. And then I started doing the door-to-door sales, and as over the years, I'm watching his videos, getting his mentorship from free online. He, Tyler, our buddy, who he got me into roofing, he posts a flyer with, do you know who Matt Sapala is by chance? Money Smart guy?
No.
That's Patrick's #1 guy.
Okay.
And he's the one that helped build his insurance company with him, like years later. And so I saw that Matt was in Dallas having a free event. And I was like, oh, fuck, I knew who Matt was because of Patrick. I went to the event, and Matt had this whole, got to hang out with him. He talked about the insurance industry, how to make money, what happens, how to like help families. And my mom had gotten cancer a year ago before that. So I was like, fuck, we're like going through that, money shit, da-da-da. And I'm like, damn, the insurance industry could have fixed that if I had known about it prior. It was like 6 months too late. And so I was like, bro, I'm seeing the money. I'm seeing how it sells. I'm seeing how I can build a business, build a brand, partner, like a franchise model type setup. And I was like, I'm just going to fucking do this, bro. This just makes fucking sense. So that was January.
Is she okay? I mean, what happened to
She's
her?
good now.
Okay.
Well, she went into remission, and now it came back. But yeah, it has its ups and downs. Definitely has its ups and downs, bro.
Okay. Good, bro.
But yeah, she's in McKinney right now, and so like started my I started with the brokerage January 14th, 2023, and going into 2023, I lived over here. Actually, I lived in Dallas. I was partying a lot, kind of like just. Life fucking sucks.
Always out.
Bro, I'm always out.
Always out?
Like,
Yeah, he was
always out, bro. Like, to where it was just like, I felt trapped.
Yeah.
Like, there's no fucking way out. And I'm making above 6 figures, but it's not enough. So I'm just like in this fucking cycle. And then New Year's Eve of 2022, going into 2023, all my friends are out. They got, fucking sections, all this shit. And I'm about to move out of my apartment and move back in with my parents' house in January, because my mom's like health and shit. And I'm like, dude, I just can't fucking keep living like this. And so I just stay in that night of New Year's, and I just was by myself. And I was like, dude, something has to fucking change. And I don't know what it is. I'm fucking lost. I just woke up and prayed every day. And I was like, and then January 14th, I walked into the office, met Matt. He became my mentor. We ended up meeting Curtis, who ran a real estate investment firm. So those are my 2 mentors now. That was about 2.5 years ago. Became a broker. I still got my biomedical engineering job, so I do that.
What's most of your like active income right now like coming from?
Engineering.
Engineering still?
Still.
Okay. So you're and how long?
There are months where I make way fucking more.
And insurance?
But it's inconsistent.
Okay.
So that's the thing where it's like, bro, if I can stabilize it, I can exit, but I also need to, be money smart. So yeah, I've been building the brokerage, building the team, building people, doing all that shit. I'm sure you probably understand kind of a little bit about it.
Yeah.
Then started the podcast about 1.5 years ago.
Nice.
With my guy Caesar. Caesar's a beast. He has his podcast too. They do their thing, and been doing social media more, doing man. I just fucking love this. Like, I love sitting down with people. This is a form of mentorship.
Yeah.
Like, you're dropping game to me.
Yeah.
The first thing you said to me was like, bro, like, I'm going to go apply this shit immediately, where I'm realizing, but I get to highlight people. I get to promote my partners. Like, this is what I fucking want to do. So eventually we'll fucking have big events, do this shit on stage, have fucking thousands of people here. I've done some live events, but on a mass scale. So that's where it's going. Exit fucking engineering, build the insurance company more so that I can help more people, put more money in people's pocket, mentor people so they can become brokers. Similar model a little bit.
Yeah.
Do that and then do the fucking media company. And then the finance company is called Money Marathon, which is interesting.
Yeah.
And then the media company is called Dollar and a Dream.
That's amazing, bro, and that's good because your business is great because when you mentor people, you also partner up with them, and then they work under your team.
Exactly.
So
then the idea is
not only a mentor, but you also give them a job, and then you give them an opportunity.
Yeah.
So it's amazing.
That's exactly. Yeah, I love it, man. It's what God put me on this earth, and I fucking found it, and I'm so thankful I found it at relatively younger age than most people ever find it.
How old are you?
I'm 30. Because, bro, I'm 8 years deep in engineering, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going on 9 years, fucking got my master's, got a bunch of degrees. Like, bro, my resume's fucking stacked.
Yeah.
Like, I was sold the dream, and I bought every fucking cent of it. So, like, bro, I did it, bro. That's where my story comes into play and shit. 'Cause it's like, bro, I wasn't the smartest kid. I fucked up. I partied.
Yeah.
But I still fucking worked.
Yeah.
Like, I still put the work in to make sure I passed. I got the fucking internships, everything I could to get on the fucking resume so that when I submit it in LinkedIn or submit it in Indeed or submit it to whoever fucking sees it on the other side, that it checks all the boxes and then I'm eligible for an interview. I always knew if I got the interview, I get the job. When I sit in front of somebody,
you can sell yourself,
I'm
That's
good
a
on that. I
very
always
good
knew
quality
that.
to have, bro.
So, but I just had to make sure I checked those fucking boxes, get that 4 on the AP exam.
Yeah.
Because that gets me in the door. But yeah.
The 4.
What about you, bro? You're married?
I love it. Yeah, married, 3 boys. I was in the Marine Corps, ended up having my first son, and it was just like, gotta get out of this.
Yeah.
I was in the Marines for 8 years, and I was like, we gotta do something else. I was a combat instructor. From there, I was like, I need to do something. I have to take care of 3 boys. So they're like, when you transition out of the military, they put you through a test. Like you're going from military to civilian. This is what you kind of correlate into. And they're like, you're either going to be a janitor or a police officer.
Fuck.
So they just labeled me right away. So I'm like, that's all I'm good at. That's all I'm good at. So I went and I became an officer, a sheriff out in California, Orange County. I was just like, I got to do something more. I had my second son then, and California hit in 2020. It was just like, this is crazy. It's super different in California. I don't know. Was Maryland like that? I guess close to DC.
For COVID?
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. It was shut down, bro. California and Maryland are very, very strict. They're very, like similar, very conservative.
So, yeah, we're like, we got to get out of here. Ended up moving out here to Texas. Had our 3rd baby. And we sold the house, and everything that we sold the house for, we were just living out here. Like, I don't know what I want to do. I don't know if I want to go back into police work or what. They're like, because at my old agency, they're like, you're either going to get vaccinated or you're going to get fired.
Wow.
And I'm thinking like, oh, there's going to be a bunch of libertarians. Like, all these guys are going to stand up with me, and I'm the only one that walks out of the room.
Yeah.
So we walk out. I go home, tell my wife, I'm like, we have to move. I quit my job. And she's like, all right. We put the house up and came out here.
She was like, what the fuck? But she was
like,
supportive?
Yeah, she's supportive. My
Okay,
wife's very traditional. I got super lucky with her. Met her in high school, so it was like meant to happen.
Like, when you talk about a good marriage, great example right here.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Thanks, bro.
like I'm around a lot of good married human beings that have given me good examples, and this is one right here.
Yeah.
Like man of the house, knows how to fucking hunt.
Yeah.
Cop, like beats up bad guys for a fucking living. Dude. Yeah.
And
So
she's supportive, bro, and that's good, bro. A lot of women nowadays they like to fight. They like to fight the culture. They're super counterculture, and it's fucked up, bro. Because like we're fighting for our lives every single day, and the last thing we want as a man is to come home and deal with more shit. So.
Yep.
100%. And well, I'm the sole income, so that's why I come out here and I'm like, should I get into real estate? Should I get into something? Like I'm starting fresh. I'm brand new. We're pioneering this area, and we're like, we gotta do something. And one of my Marines called me and was like, hey, brother, listen, I don't know, like real estate's oversaturated down there in Dallas. I think you should try something out. Let's try out this. And I was like, okay. He's like, if you don't get paid within the first couple months, I'll refund you all your business expenses. And I was like, all right, it's a win-win.
Yeah.
Let's do it. And then we got good at it. And we're like, okay, this is something that we're good at. I would like it. We hit broker in 8 months, and we've run with it since. And it's like, it's an opportunity for my kids to go to the private schools. It's an opportunity for my family to be taken care of in a higher environment, right? So blessed to have this. And we ended up, I only knew one person in Dallas at the time we came here, and that was Tyler, and he was one of my Marines. And I called him up. I'm like, dude, what are we doing? What's going on? I see you doing your roofing thing. Like, I'm doing this. I want you to come check it out. It's very faith-based. It's kind of similar to what you like. And he came out and he's like, I need to do this. I need this. And that's how we all got connected, through that small circle.
Yeah. Yeah, it's awesome, bro. Yeah, staying busy and blessed, bro. You just need that'll like keep you in the right direction, man.
Well, and it's like all actionable. Like what you were saying is just taking action, not knowing, just running into it. That's all we do. We just run into it without
bump our heads and just figure this shit out.
Yeah.
We're like, all right, bro. It's just figure it out every day. Like,
yeah.
Like we got shit planned for tomorrow. It's like, bro, we're gonna fucking make this work. I don't give a fuck what anyone says, and I'm documenting on social media. I've cut off people. I just exited we had our high school fantasy football chat or whatever. I haven't been doing it. They officially kicked me out of it, and I'm like, I don't give a fuck, dude.
Yeah, dude. In this world, bro, as an entrepreneur, very rarely is everything like calculated. Like people try to calculate things because they've been calculating shit their entire lives in school, and that's how we've been programmed. But dude, in my world, I like fight. I push through, I punch, I fucking beat the shit out of whatever is in my fucking way. And I see the vision, I see the end goal, and there's no route or path that I know of to get there. I just fucking make it happen, bro. And I will destroy anything that gets in my way. And if you're with me, we'll get there faster. And if you're not, then you better get out of the way. That's like my philosophy for life.
Is that like the wrestling mindset?
Yeah, it's the wrestling mindset.
Because I don't know what it is, dude. Wrestlers, like, we just have this different thought process.
Persian by heart, bro. Wrestler by heart, man.
Yeah. That's funny. I wrestled my junior year in high school.
Yeah. Whatever you gotta do, bro, you gotta fucking pin that motherfucker to the ground, and you just gotta hold. That's
combat sports. Yeah. It's good.
What's the next relationship you're looking for? Not like intimate, but is there any way that we could add value to you, or what is an introduction that you're looking for to have in this season of your life?
Yeah, bro. I mean, we for sure have to figure out a way to like break bread and do business together. For me personally, like at this stage of my life, I'm looking, more into investing into my people and my team. I started to realize that a while ago, like, it's not good to keep all the money for yourself. And I used to do that a lot, not because I was a selfish person, but because I didn't trust people. And for me, like, I always have this saying, bro, my father always told me this from a young age. He said, Fatty, like, trust is good, but control is better. If you can control everything yourself, fucking do that. And that is what got me my first million, bro, is like doing everything myself, controlling everything myself. And then I started to realize, like, I have to start trusting other people, even if like they don't get something done at the percentile and the capability that I could get it done. Even if they can hit like a 75 or 80% success rate at it, that'll give me more time to spend 100% of my energy towards something else. And so now, even within my own businesses, bro, I'm starting to like give away equity, give away percentages, give away profit shares and partnerships, and like hire people to build them and to put them in my place so that I could start more businesses. Like, that's my goal right now, is to find a good group, a good like network to trust. And it's funny because all of my business partners, most of them are my students.
Yeah, that's dope.
Yeah, like my
It's
COO.
full trust.
That's it, bro. Like my COO technically wasn't my student, right? He was one of my sales guys. I promoted him to my COO. My CAO, my acquisition guy, he was one of my students. I still have people who like underwrite deals who work with me. They're like, because those are the people I know I can rely on, trust, and they know me and I know them. And if they got through my fucking coaching program, which is like rigorous itself, I know for a fact that they have the guts and they have the courage to do what it takes to make it in life.
Yeah.
So I give them more opportunity to kind of grow. And yeah, bro, like that's the season I'm at in my life, is just investing into my people.
What business, you said you eventually want to buy businesses. What businesses do you want to like? Like, one thing I'm looking at is like, eventually I want to buy like tax offices, accounting firms. What are some businesses that you want to invest in?
So we recently just acquired a company, and it's it's tough. Like we're focusing on growing it, but like we partnered up with like this health coach, like this holistic health coach who does holistic medicine. She does functional health. She teaches people how to heal yourself, how to bio-optimize, how to biohack your body through Eastern functional medicine, not through Western, not through scripts and pills and shit. And so like I was like her first like student before like we actually partnered up. Like she did all my blood work, she did all my my genetics testing, toxin testing, everything, like a bunch of labs, bro. And like she gave me like peptides and stuff to take to optimize my health, my cognitive function, to work more efficiently, to have more energy throughout the day. I have a specific eating routine, workout routine, regimen. And so she's helping other people do the same as well.
On your team.
Yeah.
So you're making super freaking businessmen. I
Yeah,
fucking
bro.
love it,
yeah,
bro.
that's like a different vertical that we have.
Yeah.
Is like we're trying to create like a health avenue.
It's a competitive advantage, bro.
Yeah.
You and your squad, like, we do the same thing. We have Kingsmen, and that's what we call the program. And it's like, yeah, we're trying to build fucking superhumans.
Yeah, dude. I mean, bro, it's the one thing that like men like us don't have because we work so much and we make a shit ton of money is just our health, bro. A lot of men and a lot of entrepreneurs, like, our health is decaying because we're fucking banging our head against the wall every single day because that's all we know how to do, right? And so, dude, after a while, like, what's the point of having all the money in the world if you're fucking aging more than you know, right?
Health is wealth.
Health is wealth, bro, and I've realized that, and that's why I'm investing heavy into like who I surround myself with, my circle. And if it's like something worth fighting, I'll fight for it. But if it's like drama and random shit, bro, I'll cut things and I'll pull the plugs fast, and I'll cut it out of my life, bro. And that's why like I cut a lot of my friends off, I cut a lot of my people off, and I keep my circle super small.
What's your like workout, like diet routine?
Dude, I've been doing this intermittent fasting for the past like 4 months. It's fucking amazing. Got me into an amazing shape. I eat for 8 hours a day, and then I fast for 16.
What time do you start? You break?
So every morning, on an ideal day, if I'm in routine, if I'm not traveling and shit, I'll wake up at like 6. I'll break my fast at like 6:30 with like a protein shake.
In the morning?
In the morning.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll go to the gym, I'll train, I'll come back, I'll have another protein shake, and then I'll eat a large protein-packed meal. And then I'll have like a couple meals before 2 p.m. and then I end my eating window at 2. And then from 2 p.m. onwards for the rest of the day until 6 a.m. the next day, I don't eat. I fast.
Just water?
Just water, black coffee, and that allows me to like focus on work because cooking and eating takes time, bro.
Yeah.
Right? Like it allows me to just focus on work, focus on what I need to do. And it keeps my body in pristine shape, bro. Like it's like, it fights jet lag. You don't have jet lag when you travel a lot because like when your body gets into the 14th hour of the fast, your body goes into something called ketosis, and the ketones in your body start like poking holes into the mitochondria and starts like breaking down your mitochondria, and it allows your like body to recharge and like there's like actual cellular refunction in your body, and so it helps me think clearer, bro. It helps me move faster, helps my decision making skills. And most of all, it's fucking good for your brain, your gut health, your liver, and it just makes you look shredded. Like,
I fucking love
that's
it. Yeah.
So,
So sorry, go ahead.
yeah, and then after that, just normal training, progressive overload, just weightlifting and shit. Yeah.
Do you what do you eat in like your meals? Just high protein? Is it like just meats, eggs?
Yeah, like clean meats, grass-fed, grass-finished meats, ghee, butter. Fucking love my ghee. I spread that all over my meat. The steaks, the chickens, the poultry, the fish, all that shit, bro.
So on weekends, you don't go out to like dinner or anything like that?
No, I do. Sometimes like if I celebrating with my team or I'm taking a client out to dinner, like for example, one of my students just came into town a couple weeks ago before I left for Florida, and you know we had dinner together. We went to Moxie's, had a nice steak. So sometimes I reward myself like that. During the weekends, I kind of give myself off days.
Okay.
But during the week, it's a lot easier for me to just focus on just work.
Yeah.
That's optimism. That's what's up.
Yeah.
Super optimized. Yeah.
Anything else on your end?
Just like, I think Elon Musk was talking about how if you look inside his mind, you don't want to be him just because everything's bouncing around.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I feel. But you're like organizing it.
Yeah.
When did that get organized for you?
Yeah.
You're talking about peptides. You're talking about business acquisition. You're talking about like multiple facets that we all fall under as men,
Mm-hmm.
but it just feels like it's so organized with the way you're.
Yeah, I try to like articulate it and organize it when it comes out of my mouth, bro. But inside of my brain, it's like a fucking shit show. It's like a monkey holding in two fucking claws and just smashing shit
that's
together.
me,
Like
man.
it's a mess, bro. Because when you're managing and dealing with a lot of shit, it's a lot of stress. And I've realized that I've come to the realization and the point in my life where it's a lot easier for to hire people and to work with people who can handle that stress overload, rather than trying to train someone to handle it. So what I used to do, bro, is hire interns young. I used to hire them 17, 18, 19 years old, and I used to train them and pour into them. But what I figured out is like most people just are not cut out and don't have what it takes. So now I'm hiring people my age who are like Marines, veterans, who are soldiers, who know how to fucking take the stress and the overload, because those are trained individuals that I don't have to teach shit to.
Yeah.
I just have to pour into them. That's it. So
I like working with
structure.
Marines. I like working with military people.
yeah. Oh yeah. I meant like
Team, yeah.
like hypothetically on, but like actual military people. Yeah.
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 Anything else on your
I
mind?
think that's it.
Anything on your mind, man? Anything you want to tell the world, man?
That's
Closing
it,
thoughts?
man. I mean, dude, with the courage to start and the discipline to endure, success will become a matter of time. That's it. And I'll leave it at that.
Appreciate your time, brother.
Hell yeah.